Okay, up for sale is a 97 Searay Sundancer 270, which is a cabin cruiser, 27 foot, like a weekender style boat. It's got twin 4.3 liter mercruiser inboard outs. It's got the Alpha 1 out drives, two of them. The hull's in really good shape with only just a couple minor blemishes here and there. Trailer's in good shape with tires new, less than 7 months old, new carpet and bunks. You see there's a couple scuffs there, but those will buff out. Electric windlass, got hydraulic brakes on the trailer, but the brake line's bad on it, so it's not currently working. Spare tire. And I've only hand washed the outside. I haven't done any kind of buffing or waxing or anything like that. It could stand to use some though. You can see the tires are literally like brand new, no dry rot. Got about 15 miles on them. And so the boat's got like 3 bad things that's going to need money. So the boat was starting to take on just a tiny bit of water from one of the bellows, and a friend of mine that actually owns this boat, he had me replace the bellows on both outdrives. So it's these seals in there. So I put all new bellows and seals and new carrier bearing in there, and I got some pictures of it from when I'd done it. And after I did that, this motor over here would not start. So I pulled this outdrive back off just to make sure it wasn't that keeping it from starting, and it wasn't that. My friend had his boat mechanic guy come over here, which is a 30-year like veteran mechanic from the Sanibel Yacht Club, and he's the guy that actually repowered this boat back in like 2002. He came over and said that most likely the exhaust has come apart, you know, the heat risers, and that rust is entered in one of the cylinders, and you need to pull the exhaust and pull the heads at the very least. So that's one big thing that this boat needs. The outdrives themselves are fine. There's zero problems. Stainless props. I got the other one sitting right here. Yeah, they're Alpha 1s. No issues at all with these. And the other engine cranks right up, no problem. So the other 2 issues that you have with the boat is the air conditioning doesn't work, and the hot water heater needs replacing. So the air conditioner is going to cost you probably $1,000 or $1,500. Hot water heater, I haven't looked it up, but I imagine probably $5 to $8. And the engines are under these things here. I'll open them up in a second. So you can see it's a very attractive boat. I haven't done any kind of cleaning on the outside other than just a general hand washing. This seat cover here is starting to get some dry rot. Some of the stitching's starting to come apart, but still in really good shape. You know, they'll still clean up even nicer than they are. And see, it's a really nice looking boat. You know, it's got nice lines, rounded glass everywhere. You know, it doesn't look like the old boats. Nice cockpit here. It does have a bimini top that's in the backyard, actually in my lanai. Just haven't put it back on. As far as the gauges go, I don't know if they work or not. It looks like the temp gauges are showing kind of high for it just sitting at room temperature, and it's not started in a couple weeks. I know the tacks work and the sink gauge works, so I'm not sure about the rest. And these here look a little rough, you know, from like oxidizing and so on. So I don't know if any of these 3 work. The VHF radio down there I don't think works. The Garmin probably works. I don't have to ask my friend, but I know it's not that old. And inside here, I've spent some hours cleaning it up, detailing it here recently in the last couple days. And it's pretty large. I'm 5'9", and I'm standing here. And there's at least a foot above me to my head height here. And if I stand here on this spot, my head just barely sticks out of this. So like my head's like right here at this height. I measured this here earlier, and from that point there to here, to the edge of these cushions, is 7 feet at its longest, and from the width here across to here is 6 feet. So you pull this thing out, it slides on out, and you grab that cushion, and you set them here in this gap, and then it turns it into a bed. It's got a lot of storage, little places. Microwave actually goes in here, so that's another thing it needs, but I don't think that's very expensive. It's got a new fridge. He said that was $850 that he had put in. The stove looks okay. I don't know if it works. I have to ask him. But a lot of little storage spots. Little storage hatches here and there. AC controls. It's got a little spot where you can hang clothes, a little clothes rack. And the bathroom here is actually also a shower. So there's a drain. And the wand there clicks up into this thing here, and then it can you can shower with it. So a little bit of storage here and there. The bed area here, this mirror needs replacing, and then that needs to be hung back up. It's, or you can just leave it as is. But I measured this area here, and I don't have a lot of light. Let's see if I can turn this on. It's 4 feet 2 inches wide by 6 feet 2 inches long. So this lays up under there, and that's where the air conditioner is. So if you're going to replace it, you got to open that up, and it's behind that panel there. But you can see it's actually kind of roomy in here. I would imagine that's a little over 2 feet tall there from the bed up to the roof there. Probably 30 inches or so. And you got a window there with a screen that opens and closes. And some more storage there, more here. This is all underneath the sink. Some electronic controls and stuff. And some more up there. Anyways, got a bilge down here. So let's get to the motors. And in here you get your battery switches. Get 2 of them there. Shore power. I don't remember what's over there, just extra junk. So in here, these hatches open. Set these out of the way. I'm not going to bother starting the one that actually runs because it runs, and you can hear that anytime if you want, but I'm telling you that the other one doesn't run, so hopefully you believe me that the one does run. Okay. So with these 3 hatches out of the way and these bars actually pick up here, I'm not going to bother. You can see they're 4.3 liter mercruisers. He bought the boat back in 2002 and he repowered it. Both engines brand new, not remanufactured. He got them for like $3,500 a piece, and then his mechanic friend installed them. It's had really low use, used it only 3 or 4 times a year. He kept it stored at Sweetwater Marina, which is in the river there, Caloosahatchee River near the interstate, kind of. And he'd run out to the beach and hang out for a day or a weekend and then take it back in. So it kind of had like a brackish water flush on its return trip. So that rusty mess there is the hot water heater. Completely shot, needs replacing. I know the macerator, toilet system, all that works, which is that over there in the corner. Definitely needs batteries. One of them holds a charge, I think is maybe somewhat decent. The other 2 are shot. So, again, it's this one here that doesn't work. And he thinks that the exhaust risers rusted away, and then rust fell down into one of the cylinders while it was sitting, which it sat for less than 2 years after the bellows. And it's not like the engine, not like the boat sunk, it just started taking on water, so we stopped using it until we replaced the bellows, and then this engine wouldn't start. I got the plugs out of it, got the belts off of it so I could turn the crank by hand, and it's just got a spot where it gets a bind really stiff, so that engine definitely needs some kind of love, maybe replacement. So it's priced cheaply at $8,000, given the things that it needs. It's a nice, the hull's in nice shape, the interior's in decent shape. It's a very attractive boat. You fix these few things wrong with it and you have a really nice boat on your hands here. Thanks.